thing you might do. Oh, actually, one thing I was going to say to everybody today, what we can use, if you're at home, presumably you're at home, have a Pilates block like this. Don't worry, you probably haven't got one, but cushion, maybe a cushion like that. You've got a cushion fairly handy. It might be a little bit flatter than that, might be a bit bigger than that. We can use one of those towards the end of the class just to do a little bit of lying down exercise on your side, so you can put a cushion underneath your head. So hopefully everybody's heard me say that. If you haven't got a cushion, don't worry too much. It'll just make your neck feel a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, just go and grab that one now if you've got one nearby. And then, because it is 1 o'clock now, we can get going. So let us set ourselves up first of all. So as let me just remind you, just to stay safe, as you will know. So I think most of you have done my online classes.
All right, see you later.
Okay, see you later. That you should have, just make sure that you stick to your own level. I'll give you lots of different options. Rest anytime you need to. If I asked you to do anything that you don't feel comfortable doing, of course you don't need to do it, just rest and then we can move on and you join in when you're ready. So starting first of all, let's just make sure you've got really nice standing posture. So heels underneath your knees, underneath your hip bones. Just making sure that your feet aren't turned outwards or inwards. It's really important we've got good alignment in our legs, our knees, our hips and our spine as well. So we're not putting any undue pressure in any of our joints. So your feet are facing forwards, and then we are just going to feel the length in our spine. So just growing a little bit towards the top of your just lifts a little bit higher up towards the ceiling, just growing a little bit taller. So open the shoulders, the chest, drawing the ribs down towards the hips. So you've just got that little alignment with the bottom of your rib cage and your hips, and just making sure that your tailbone is dropping down towards your heels. So just opening up your lower back. So we're not in a tip or tilt of the pelvis, we're in that neutral position in between. Then from there, just bring your shoulders forwards up like this, and just slide your shoulder blades down towards the base of your spine, shoulders away from your ears, and then let's just make sure that we can just gently pull in your abdomen, so drawing in, closing that space in between your two hip bones, so just feel like you're pulling in there, and you're lifting up from your top of your pelvic bone up towards your belly button, so we've got that support around our center. So from this, just start just doing some gentle shoulder rolls. So let's breathe in, bring your shoulders forwards, bring your shoulders up by your ears, and as you breathe out, slide your shoulders down towards the base of your spine. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. So remember to breathe into the sides of your rib cage and into the back of the body. So we're breathing deeply, sort of almost feel like you're breathing sideways. So just feel your rib cage expand and then drawing in. Last time like that, shoulders up and release them down. Then take your arms wide to the side, breathing in, bring your arms over your shoulders. And breathing out, take your arms wide side and bring them back down. Do that once more, breathing in, arms go wide. Breathing breath, arms over your shoulders, breathing out, arms go wide, your ribs draw in and down, arms come down. Now breathe in as you breath, just drop your chin towards your chest and just do a very gentle roll down through your spine and just turn sideways. You don't need to go all the way down if you don't want to. Your arms can just hang from your shoulders, or you might have your hands on your thighs, you might have your knees bent. And then slowly coming all the way up again. So scooping in, your legs drawing in towards your spine, and just restacking our vertebrae one at a time, and then stand nice and tall at the top. Let's go again, breathing in, bring your arms over your shoulders, breathing out, take your arms wide, and then on your next exhale, chin to chest, and just do that forward flexion and roll down through your spine, stretching into the spine, the back of the legs, big bend in the knees, halfway down, all the way down if you feel you can. Lovely stretch in the back of the legs as well there. Breathe in as you do that slowly, come all the way up. Trying to keep the shoulders away from our ears. When your shoulders arrive over your hips, then we can look forwards and roll your shoulders again. Slide your shoulder blades back and down. And then just rest your hands on your thighs, breathe in. As you breathe, slide your left hand down the side of your left thigh and slide your right hand up the side of your rib cage. So we've got that side bend and slowly coming up through that length in your waist and then go the other way. Just stretching sideways. So you're working into your obliques, these sideways muscles, they're stretching and they're just bending the spine. Don't take it too far. If it's uncomfortable, keep it small. Let's do one more each way like that. And last time, Right arm down, left elbow up, and then lengthen both of your arms down by your sides. Now just let your arms forward and bend your elbows. So you'll bring your arms into like a genie position. So your arms are folded, just resting your fingertips on opposite elbow. Breathe in as you breathe out. Just take a twist of your spine around to the left. So it's like you're trying to take your left elbow towards the wall behind you, and then come back through center as you breathe in. As you breathe out, twist it, try and twist from the waist. So you take your rib cage around towards the side wall, and then you're bringing it forwards again. So just the upper body twisting, this twisting in one piece almost, in one unit, you're going from side to side. Try and keep your hips facing forwards. And let's just do that once more. So get that twist to center, and last time like that. And bring your arms slowly all the way down by your side. Just take a shoulder all there. And we're going to do a sequence now. So come with me. If you're not at the end of the mat already, come with me so you're at the back end of your mat. So you've got the length of the mat in front of you. Remember, keep these movements really small if you need to. Otherwise, just make them as big as your body feels comfortable to make them. So heels under your hips, so make sure you're standing really nice and tall again. Breathe in as you breathe. Can you just sit back in a squat? So just reach your arms forward, just sit back, go back and down. Push into your heels, straighten your legs, bring your arms down by your sides. And see how you go. We're going to find our balance now. So lift the arms up over your shoulders, the heels lift away from the floor. Then just let your arms reach wide to the side, and then drop your heels down on the floor. So you're reaching for the side walls. Breathe in as you breathe out. Can you just drop your right arm down towards the floor and take your left arm up and over? So it's that side bend. It's a bit bigger now. And then take your arms wide to the side, and then your right arm, drop it down, take your left arm up and over, and then reach your arms wide to the side and bring them all the way down towards your hips. Then from there, we're going to drop the chin to the chest. We're going to roll down through our spines again, just like we did before. Big bend in the knees, all the way down if you can, halfway down if you need to. Keep your legs straight if you can, otherwise we might be here with a big bend in your knees. From here, stay folded over, breathe in. As you breathe, can you lift your left arm up towards the ceiling, follow the arm with your eyes, and stack your left shoulder over your right shoulder. So you've got that twist in your spine again now. Breathing in, bring your arm down, let it release just forward of your toes, and the right arm, reaching up, looking up, open your shoulder, open your chest, and slowly bring your arm all the way back down. Breathe in as you do that, rolling all the way up. We're going to come up back towards standing. Restacking your spine, standing nice and tall at the top. Roll your shoulders, slide your shoulder blades back and down. Breathe in. As you breathe out, go back into your squat. So we're going to do 3 sets of these. Push into your, squeeze your glutes, stand nice and tall. Rising up, the heels lift off, pull the arms come over our shoulders. And then we're going to just reach the arms wide, keep reaching for your side walls, heels come down. That side bend, breathe in as you breathe out. Your right arm, left arm, drops down, your right arm comes up and over. Reach your arms back wide to the side, your right arm drops down and your left arm comes up and over. Reach both of the arms wide side and let them float down by your hips. Breathe in as you breathe out, chin to chest. Down we go again. So you remember you might be here, otherwise we're here. And into that forward fold. Breathe in as you breathe out. Can you float your left arm again up towards you? So twisting, reaching up. And slowly bring your arm back down. And then your right arm. Sweep the arm up, reach your fingertips to the ceiling, stack your shoulders. Bring the arms slowly back down, so we fold it over, and let's slowly come all the way up again. Stand nice and tall at the top. Only look forwards when your shoulders arrive down, your hips look forwards. Big shoulder off. Slide your shoulder blades back and down. Pull in, lift up. Breathe in. As you breathe out, down we go again. Last time, sit back and down in your squat. With lots of power in your legs here. Squeeze your glutes, push into your heels, stand tall. And then up we go. Lift the heels, float the arms right up over your shoulders. And then take your arms wide to the sides as you bring your heels down. Breathe in as you breathe out. Left arm drops down, your right arm reach it up and over. That side bend, trunking forwards and backwards. Reach your arms wide to the sides again. Your right arm drops down, your left arm sweeps up and over. Both of the arms reach wide to the sides and your arms sweep down. Rest your arms by the side of your hips. Breathe in as you breathe it down. We go again. That last time, coming all the way down, not coming up again. Big bend to the knees if you need to. Just slowly coming down. Look towards your knees if you can. Bend the knees as much as you need to. And your left arm reaches up. We stack the left shoulder over the right, looking up. Hopefully you're not feeling dizzy. hand comes down, then your right arm sweep up and up, try not to pull your hip up with you, and bring your arm back all the way down. Big bend in the knees now. Let's walk out onto our mat. So maybe just taking those 3 hand places forward, make sure your hands are parallel, and then drop your knees down onto the floor underneath your hips. So we're now in our tabletop position. So shoulders back and down, your spine is long, your neck is long. Just really feel like you're drawing in through yourself, so you're lifting up, and we've got a really nice posture here on all fours. So from here, just take your hands a little bit wider than your mat. So your wrists are still in line with your shoulders, but your arms are wider than shoulder width apart. So keep your tummy pulling in, shoulder blades back and down. On your next in-breath, just bend your elbows and lower your chest down towards the floor in between your hands. So your body weight's coming forwards a little bit there. And then as you exhale, push into your hands and straighten your arms. So we're not going to do too many. Can we just do 2 more? Breathing in, we come down. So all we're doing is bending the elbows to get your chest a little bit close to the floor. And we're pressing up. So it's a press up. So we press into our hands. Lots of power to strengthen our arms, our shoulders, our chest. Last time. And push the floor away. So now all we want to do is just bring the hands in a little bit closer again, so your wrists are right underneath your shoulders again, so nice and square. Breathe in as you breathe out, and this time tuck your tail. So now really arch the spine in your cat stretch. Tuck your tail, chin to chest, pull your shoulder blades wide, push your back. Breathing in, we're going to tip the sit bones up towards the ceiling, dip your spine, coming into your extension, your cow pose, and let's go again. So lots of mobility in your spine now. That movement flows all the way up your spine till your chin tucks in, and then we go the other way. Try and start with your sit bones, tip them up, dip your spine. Slide your shoulder blades down, lift your chest and look forwards. Can we do that once more? So this is a really nice stretch, cat and cow. So really good for releasing maybe any tension, little niggles in your spine, maybe any knots hopefully, and then come back into your neutral position. Then just bring yourself down onto your forearms, walk your knees back and just allow yourself to lie all the way down on your front now. So your chest is coming down onto the floor. And then we're going to stack our hands and just rest one hand on top of the other, and then rest your forehead on the backs of your hands. So hopefully, if you can just pull the elbows down a little bit, so your elbows are just a little bit lower than the level of your hands, and then we can pull the shoulder blades back and down towards your hips. So we've got nice alignment for our shoulders. Stretch your legs along behind you. Just try and make sure your heels are in line with your sit bones. So your legs should be hip width apart here. And just find that little space underneath your belly button, so pulling in through your center. So lifting your tummy away from the floor. So nice and gentle. Breathe in. As you breathe out, we're just going to lift the head and the chest away from the floor. So just feeling like you're reaching through the top of your head as we find that length, that extension in your spine. And breathing in, slowly coming back down again. And coming up again, so don't need to come up too high, just feel that length. The spine lengthens as we lift, so it's an extension exercise. And lots of strength in your shoulders, your spine, and your mid and your upper back. Try not to press into your arms. So you can stay with this if you want to, just lifting and lowering your upper body away from the floor. If you're feeling a little bit stronger today, we're just going to bring the arms away from the floor as we lift your chest. So your forehead's just stuck to your hands. So the arms lift and lower. So again, it's just like in one piece, we're just coming up and then lowering back down again. Or just get your arms on the floor if that's a little bit too much, because that's a lot of weight we're lifting away from that. So you have to quite strong back, but hopefully the more we practice these prone exercises, these lying down exercises, we are building up the strength in our spines, our shoulders, our backs. So last time like that. So now we can add in only as an option. We're just going to lift one leg at a time away from the floor. So lift your right leg, reach your toes and squeeze into your buttock as you lift that leg away from the floor. Put the leg back down as you lower your chest, and then the other leg lengthen and lift it. So you can do this, you can still do this with your arms on the floor. You can lift your chest and one leg at a time. If you want to keep your arms on the floor, you can still be going like this with your arms down, so you've just got a little bit more stability. or we can be here with the arms floating away from the floor. Let's just do one more each side. So reach the toes behind you as you lift the leg and lift the chest off the floor with the arms or without, you choose. And then that last one. And then slowly come all the way down. So you might want to just take a nice release from there. So all I want you to do is just pop your hands right underneath your shoulders, push yourself up again onto your hands and knees, and just pull your sit bones back towards your heels. So you get a really nice stretch there. Just feel like you're really opening up into your lower back. And just stretching your arms, your shoulders, and your chest as well. So just stretching it all out. So we're just going to come onto our sides next today. So like all the way down on one side. Doesn't matter which side you're on, so we'll do one side after the other. So like all the way down. So we're going to do clam, and we're going to add in a little bit of work in the clam as well. So again, lots of options here. So like on one side or the other, just if you can, just extend your bottom arm, rest your head on your bicep, and then bend the knees and make sure your heels are in line with your sit bones. So you've got that sort of a 90-ish degree angle behind your knees, and your sit bones are lined up with your shoulders. And just try and make sure both sides of your waist be really lengthened. So we're along both sides. You should have maybe just a little bit of space there underneath your sideways. And as always, remember, we need to connect to your core. So pull in your tummy and lift up. So like you're drawing in your belt and zipping up your trousers here. So that's going to help support the spine, keep your pelvis nice and still. So nice and simple, first of all. You can keep your hand on your hip, you can put your hand on your thigh, or you can put your fingertips on the floor if you want a little bit more stability. As long as your shoulders stay stacked one on top of the other. Basic clam first of all. So breathe in. As you breathe out, just pull the top knee away from the bottom knee, just opening up into your hip. And breathing in, just very lightly, close knee, just barely touching, and pull away again. So it's that resistance as you open and close your top knee. Try not to allow that top hip to pull backwards, so don't roll your hip backwards or forwards. So the only movement is through your hip there. So your next option would be, next time your knees come together, we're going to lift the feet off the floor, so your knees are still down, so you've lifted your heels up towards the ceiling, and then we can go again, we can carry on with open and close. So just going slowly, so pull that away, and gently close, barely touch down. Let's do that 2 more times. So that's your second option. And lastly, we can just add a little bit of stretch now. So we're going to open the top knee with your feet together. And then as you breathe in, just stretch your top leg away, reach your toes, extending that leg long out of your hip. Bring your feet together so your knees are still open, and then close the knee. So we open the top knee, we stretch the top leg away, we bring the feet together, and we close knee. So you can put your feet down and do this if you want to. You can have this with your, do this with your feet up or your feet down. Over here, open, stretch away, feet together and close. Let's just do 2 more. Squeeze into your glute. You feel like you glute your hips, lots of mobility into your hip as well. Last time like that, pull the top knee away, extend the leg, feet together, and then close the knees, and now drop your feet down onto the floor. A little bit different now. Keep the bottom leg relaxed and resting on the mat. Can you extend your top leg away again? Long, long leg. Keep that space under your sideways. Keep everything level, balanced and square. Just point the toes on your top foot. And can you just start to draw some circles in the air with your top foot? Just smooth, round, even circles. Don't need to be big. So you carry on with that. I'll show the option will be just to bring your knee forward, and you can draw circles in the air forward, so your knee's more or less in line with your hip. Otherwise we're here. Let's do 2 more that way. And let's take the circles around the other way. So really maybe feeling that challenge now in our glutes, our hips, our legs. Keep the leg long out of your hip unless you bent the knee. You chose that option. Don't forget to breathe. And just switch off your bottom leg. It's not doing anything at the moment. It's going to do its bit in a minute. And, oh, can we do 1 more? And release off, bend your top knee, just bring it forwards, let it rest on the mat in front of your bottom leg, switch off the muscles in your hips, your glutes, just allow those just to release off just for a moment, just while you take a breath. Okay, so that's that little bit there. So let's just bring ourselves up to seat. Just do a little bit of the spine stretch in between. So just bring yourself up to seated and then sit with your legs a little bit wider than your hips. So your heels are wider than your hip bones. And if you can, have your toes pointing up towards the ceiling. You can bend your knees here a little bit if you need to. It's really tight in your hamstrings, your hip flexors or your lower back. Just a little bend in your knees is fine. So just going to do a bit of a spine stretch, but be very mindful of how this feels in your lower back. So just sit really nice and tall. Take your arms wide to the side and then bring your arms forward in towards each other. So the palms of your hands are facing the floor, the fingertips are reaching forwards. Your arms are sort of more or less shoulder height. Just go around here to show you what I mean. And then breathe in, as you breathe out, pull your tummy in, scooping your navel in towards your spine. Just slowly start to round your spine and just bring your chest, your arms down towards the floor, just till you feel that stretch in your lower back. Don't overstretch, take it really easy. Breathe in as you breathe, slowly come up, slide your shoulder blades down towards your hips. As you slowly rebuild your spine, sort of coming back to where we were. Breathe in as you breathe out, coming forwards. Almost feel like you're sweeping your arms over a big Pilates ball or a big beach ball. Coming round, and then slowly rebuild your spine and sitting really nice and tall. So our arms are right back where they were. Do that 2 more times. Try not to even feel like you're trying to pull your hips and your abdominals forward, and you're pulling back through your center of your tummy and your hips as you pull back, we're rounding the spine and reaching forwards. Slowly coming back up, remember bend the knees if you need to. And last time, do that once more, I'll just come forwards again, and then slowly coming over. So it should be a really nice stretch in your spine, and if your legs are straight, we get a big stretch into our hamstrings as well. And then come up and sit really nice and tall at the top. Just bring your legs in towards each other. Take your arms up, bring your arms down both sides. You just might want to shake out your legs a little bit there, just to release off any tension. Shall we do our side work on the other side now? So just take your time. Go down on your other side, make sure you don't do the same side twice. And just find your alignment, hip, heels, sit bones, shoulders, all aligned up with one another. Hand on your hip, 5 fingertips on the floor if you prefer, but as always, just make sure we're really stacked in our hips. We've got long both sides, length in both sides of our waist, and just keep your neck in line with the spine, so look forwards. So from there, again, just make that connection to your sense of pull in and lift up through your center. Keep your feet together, breathe in. As you breathe out, we're going to pull the top knee away from the bottom knee. And breathe in as you close, just your very basic clamp. So you can stay with this if you want. So this is really good for keeping our hips mobile and strengthening into our glutes and our hips as well. Feeling your in and out of thighs too. Don't forget to breathe. So exhale as you open, inhale as you close. So as we did on the other side, if you want to, just lift your heels away from the floor up towards the ceiling. Keep your heels and feet up. And then just do some more of those, open and close. So our feet aren't moving, they're just staying where they are. Put them down if you need to. Pull away and close. Let's do 2 more like that. And last time like that. Don't rush, go really slowly. So lots of activity here. And then you can put your feet down again if you want to, when we're adding in that leg extension, or keep your feet up. Exhale, open. As you breathe, just stretch your top leg away, reach your toes. Keep the knees wide as you bring your feet back together, and then close the knee. And off we go again. Open and extend. And feet together and close, and feet down. Exactly the same with your feet down, if that's what you would choose to do. And 5 we're here. And we've got 3 more to do. Excuse me. And 2 more. Pull. Reach away. And nearly there. Really start to maybe feel that now. And close the knees, feet down if you happen to lift your feet off the floor. And then those leg circles come next. So stretch your top leg away, long out of your head. Remember, the option would be to bring the knee forwards in line with your hip. Otherwise, keep your leg long. And then we're just going to draw those circles in the air with our toes of that top leg. Try and keep everything else really still. They don't need to be big. You can make them really small, but make sure it's your leg that's circling around your hip. We're not wiggling the foot or circling the ankle. It's that leg circling around your hip. So we're trying to get those muscles strengthened and the joint, keeping that joint really nice and fluid. And how many have we got? Let's do another one that way. And let's take those circles around the other way. So you might want to make them a little bit bigger. You might want to make them a little bit smaller, but try not to rock through your spine, your hips or your shoulders. That stillness again. And let's do 2 more that way. Oh, starting to feel that. You can feel which muscles you're using. And then bend your top knee. So just that release, just to bring that top knee forward, rest it on that front of your bottom leg, and just find that release in your hips and in your glutes. So then from there, let's just swivel ourselves around onto our backs now. And all I want you to do before we do anything else is just to bring your knees in towards your chest. Nice and close, and give them a hug. So that should stretch again into your glutes and hips. So just give them a hug. Maybe just take a little bit of a gentle rock there from side to side. And then let's put our feet back down on the floor. Get our feet back down on the floor. And let's start to work a little bit now through the core muscles. Again, we're going to work through the hips and the shoulders as well. So just find a really good alignment. If anybody wants to, I know I've said this to you before, but you can always put your head on a cushion or a block if you want to, just to support your head, or make sure that the back of your neck's open. So we're pulling our hips back, we've got that neck in the back of our necks. Settle your hips, your spine, so just making sure your shoulder blades are wide across your back. Your pelvis, so we're bringing that into its neutral position. So as always, we're just going to flatten the lower back onto the mat and then arch it away, just that very low part of your spine, and then bring it into that position in between. So your pelvis is really nice and level. Pull in and lift up through the center again, so you've got that support around your middle. And make sure your heels, your knees, and your feet are in line. We're just going to reach the arms straight up towards the ceiling, right over our shoulders. So nice and gentle this next exercise, that's quite nice. So all I want you to do is on your next in-breath, we're just going to allow the right arm to go wide to the side as your left knee drops away. So your right arm is in line with your shoulder, reaching to the side of your, you've come onto the left side of your left, on the outside of your left foot. Exhaling, pull the arm back over your shoulder and bring the knee back in. Inhaling, let's let the right knee fall away, so you're coming onto the outside of your right foot, and your left arm's going to come away just towards the floor. Try to take it all the way through, so don't collapse your arm onto the floor. And then exhaling, pull the arm over your shoulder, and so go back where we started. Left knee falls away, right arm goes wide to the side. Resist the floor. Exhale, pull the arm in and pull the knee back in. So you should feel this in your core, your lower abdominals, as we pull the arm and the knee back in. So you can stay with that. We can make that a little bit more challenging if you want to. As you breathe, and let both of your arms go wide, away from each other, and drop both of your knees away from each other. So the outside of both of your feet, like a butterfly. Exhale, pull the knees in towards each other. Arms come just over your shoulders, shoulder width over your shoulders, and then go again. So just a nice little hip opening exercise, working, so you'll feel that in your inner, your outer thighs as you pull the legs in towards each other. You definitely be working into your hips, opening the hips, and into your shoulder, arms, and your chest as well. Let's do one more like that. Breathe in, let the arms and legs fall away, pull them back in towards each other. Feet flat on the floor, arms over your shoulders. Now breathe in, let your arms float towards the floor behind you this time. And then as you breathe out, circle your arms wide to the sides and pull your arms in towards your hips. Nice big arm circles. Breathing in, And breathing out, let's add in a little bit of a chest curl, only if you want to, so you can stay with this. Otherwise, breathe in, your arms are going to go back, not too far. Try not to pull your rib cage up too much. Now, as you breathe out, just lift your head off the floor, reach your arms wide side. So if you can, just peel your shoulders off the mat. So you're looking just over your knees here, maybe. Arms by your sides, and then again, as you breathe in, we're lowering the shoulders and the chest. Your arms are going to go back towards the floor behind you, and then as you breathe again, we're reaching wide, we're pulling the arms in, we're peeling the head and shoulders off the mat. Always trying to maintain that space between your chin and your chest, and slowly coming back down again. So just working with our breath. Reach the arms wide, pull them in, head and shoulders come off the floor. And slowly coming back down. Can we do 2 more? So scooping in, so you'll find that little dip in through your center as you peel your head and shoulders back. So it's very easy to push the tummy outwards, so we want to pull it in, scooping in, coming up. And then last time, just take the arms back. Maybe a little bit of stretching your arms long overhead, take your arms to the wide side, and let's just let our arms rest slightly on the mat down by your sides now. And then if you put your head on a head support cushion or a block or anything, just slip that away. Let's just do some nice gentle bridges now. And add in again a little bit of work through our arms, our shoulders and our chest. So having your heels staying close to your sit bones, about a hand distance away, but still having that same alignment with your heels, your knees and your sit bones. Have your arms on the mat down by your sides and just turn your palms inwards to face your hips. Your arms are long, so we can pull the shoulders away from here, so your palms are just pointing up towards the ceiling. So breathe in, as you breathe out, just do that little tuck under with your tailbone, so just feel your lower back coming down onto the mat, and then we're slowly going to peel our spine away from that, and only if you feel you can, just let your arms come up towards the ceiling and towards the floor behind you as you come onto your shoulders. You don't have to come onto your shoulders if you don't want to. Then breathe in, as you breathe out, just slowly bring your spine one vertebrae at a time down onto the mat as you bring your arms slowly up over your shoulders, and then just as your spine's releasing down onto the mat, your arms come down by your sides. Breathe in. As you breathe that off, we go again. Squeeze your glutes tightly as you come into your bridge. Try not to let your knees wander. Arms by your sides if you don't want to take your arms up and over. This time, if you want to, breathe in as you work. We can circle the arms again wide to the sides and slowly bring them in as you release your spine back down onto the mat. So you can just keep your arms shoulder width apart when they come down, or make them big circles. Breathe in as you breathe out. Remember to tuck your tail under. And then remember, we're squeezing the glutes as the arms go back. Keep your hips level, reach your arms back, and either just sweep them back forward the same way they went back, or on your next exhale, reach wide, pull them in as you slowly bring your spine back down onto the mat. And let's do that again. So it should feel really nice. Lots of work into the back of our bodies, our spines, our hamstrings, our glutes. Use your exhale as you're moving your spine. Inhale at the top and the bottom. So again, it should be a really nice fluid movement. Don't worry if you've got some little sticky bits. The more we practice these, hopefully the more mobility we're going to get into our side, the more balance we get both sides of the body as well. Slowly coming all the way down, and let's just slowly imprint our spines back down onto the mat. And then when you're all the way down this time, just a good idea just to open up your lower back again. So just bring your knees in towards your chest and give them that hug. So that little gentle rock from side to side, just releasing. So with your knees in, you'll feel the whole of your back so long on the mat now. It's imprinted into the mat. So you can just give your spine a little bit of a massage as you just take that little rock from side to side. Good. So one at a time, let's put our feet back down on the floor. We're just going to do some very gentle knee circles. So we did the leg circles lying down on our side. So now a little bit different this time. So we're going to work on our back, circling the knee around the hip socket now. So make sure you've got that neutral angle. If you want to, again, you can put your head back on the head support cushion if you feel you'd like to. That helps support your head. Otherwise, make sure your neck is long. Just lift your right foot off the floor. Bring your right knee over your hip. So just imagine you've got that pencil just sitting on top of your right kneecap. And then we're just going to make sure you've connected to your centre. Your lower back still on the floor here. Keep that length in your spine. Tummy's pulling in. Breathe in as you breathe out. Let's draw circles on the ceiling this time with that imaginary pencil sitting on top of your knee. And your left foot is light as a feather on the floor now. So try not to press into your left foot. Try not to rock through your hips at all. So no movement in your spine, your neck, your shoulders, your hips. They're all really still. So these don't need to be big. We can keep them small. But again, just try not to wiggle your foot. So remember, it's the thigh bone circling around and around your hip socket again, just like when we were lying on our side. And let's do one more like that. Don't rush. And let's go the other way. Unwind your circles. So feel still you've got that connection. You're still pulling in your abdominal muscles. You're still lifting them up. And that's going to really keep your spine supporting your hips, your pelvis nice and stable. So you don't need to do this many. You can take a break anytime you need to. Just making sure that we're doing circles, not squares or triangles. It's that smooth movement around your hip socket. Maybe we can do one more like that. And then just hug your right knee in towards your chest. Give a really nice hug and circle your ankle. A few circles one way and the other way. Right foot goes down. Make sure you're in your alignment again. Everything's level, balanced and square. And then we're going to do the same. Left foot lifts up and just make sure your knees over your hip before you start. That pencil's on your left kneecap. When you're ready, make sure you've got that connection to your centre and off we go again. So try not to press into your right foot or even your arms. So try and make sure the stabilizer of your spine and your pelvis comes through your abdominals, those core muscles are still connected, still pulling them in. And that's what should be keeping everything stabilized. By all means, press into your foot, your arms if you need a little bit more stability. Try not to rock through your hips. So just picture those little circles on the ceiling. You might find that one hip's a little bit more free than the other. So again, the more we practice these exercises, hopefully, let's go the other way, we can get more of a balance in both sides of our body. Remember to breathe and try not to tense up your arms, your shoulders, or your chest. Nearly there. And maybe we can just finish off doing one more. And then again, like you did on the other side, just to hug your left knee in nice and close so your thighs coming towards your chest, but try not to lift your bottom off the floor. Circle your ankle, a few circles one way, and then a few circles over. Let's just stretch out that leg a little bit. So just bring your leg long over your hip if you can, bend the knee a little bit if you need to. Bring your hands behind your thigh, maybe your calf, and just gently draw that leg in towards you. So just feel that stretch in your hamstring, and you might just want to push your heel up towards the ceiling, and then you feel that all the way down the back of your leg into your calf and your hamstring, that really lovely stretch. And then, Janice, we didn't stretch the other leg, so do the same with your right leg. Lift it up, lengthen it, and just bring your hands behind your thigh or your calf, and just gently draw it in. So never overstretch. It's good to hold the stretch for a while. And then that option just to push your right heel up towards the wall, like you're trying to curl your toes in towards your nose there. Just bring that stretch all the way down the back of your legs. Leg even. And then bend the knee, put both your feet on the floor. So I hope you heard me at the beginning of the class, so the session. If you've got a block, folded up towel or cushion, put that underneath your head now. So we're going to be doing a little bit of work, a really nice exercise exercise to finish, and this is something you can do at home since you don't have shoulder issues at all or anything that causes you any pain in your upper body. It's a really nice exercise, this one we're going to do for opening up your chest, really good for your lung function, your breathing as well, and good for our posture too. So put your head on your block, or it might be a cushion, it might be a folded up towel. If you haven't got anything to put underneath your head, just bend your bottom elbow, just have your top arm reaching forwards. If you have got something to support your head's on it, so your neck is in line with your spine. Otherwise, you're going to be here, and that's going to be uncomfortable in your neck. If you can, if you've got that underneath your head, both of your arms are forward, your palms are together, and again, that same position we had for our clam, your heels are lined up with your hips and your shoulders. And your hands are together, your arms are lengthened, your arms are just in line with your chest in front of you. Again, both sides of the waist are long, your knees are pinned together. You must make sure your knees stay on the floor as we do this sequence. So from here, make sure again we've got that support around our middle. Breathe in. As you breathe out, we're going to follow the hand with the eyes. You're going to float that top arm up towards the ceiling. And you're going to take the arm behind you, like you're trying to put your top shoulder towards the floor behind you. So you're opening up the shoulder and the chest. Breathe in. As you breathe out, we're going to slowly bring the arm back up over your shoulder and bring your hands together again. So this is called the open book. So it's just like opening a page on a book. So breathe in. As you breathe, keep your knees pinned together, your knees on the floor. Lift the arm up towards you. Only if it feels okay. Carry on reaching it towards the floor behind you. So really feel that stretch across your chest into your shoulders. Breathe in. As you breathe out, fingertips to ceiling, and slowly bring the hands together again. And let's do that again. Use your exhale as the arm is moving. You inhale as the arm is back and as the hands are together. So only when we're moving to use that out breath. So you might be here. If you're here, that's fine. You can still be doing this. So just supporting your head with your arm underneath you. Let's again, we're just a little bit better if you've got that support underneath your head. As long as you're not straining your neck. Last time, let's just do that last one. You can probably do lots of these all day, so it should hopefully feel like a really good stretch. And then on your next exhale, just bring the arm back up and over, and just take a moment just to release off and just to breathe. And then from there, unfortunately, you've got to bring yourself up and over. Take a cushion with you, if you have a cushion or a block or towel, and then just don't rush, take your time, come onto your other side. So head's on your block, or remember that option would be just to bend your arm underneath and have just your top arm reaching forwards. Otherwise, if you can, put your head on your block. Remember the knees are bent, the heels are in line with your sit bone, just sit bones in line with your shoulder. We've got that length in both sides of your waist as well. Pull in, so you've got that waistcoat supporting your spine, hands together, and your arms are in just chest height here. Keep your neck long in line with the spine, so just try and follow that arm with your eyes if you can. Breathe in. As you breathe out, that top arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling, and you take your top shoulder towards the floor behind you. You won't get your shoulder anywhere near the floor, don't press it down, just till you feel that nice stretch into your arm, your shoulder, and across your chest. And then breathing out, we come back and close the arms. So let's go again. So this is a really, really good exercise. If you're a little bit round-shouldered or sit down a lot, it's quite likely that the chest muscles are really quite shortened. So we're just stretching them out, really. And coming back. And let's do 3 more like that. Just as we did on the other side, we did 5 repetitions. So always try and be very mindful that we do the same amount of repetitions on each side of our bodies. So we've just got 2 more to go. And that very last one, breathe in. As you breathe out, reach up, pull that shoulder back, look back, open your chest. And then in your last exhale, the arm reaches up and your hands come together. And let me see your last one. Oh, you could do those all day. They should feel really nice, a really nice release. So let's just bring ourselves up from there into a seated position. Just do a couple of seated stretches before we go today. So first of all, let's just lengthen your legs long, or keep a little bend in the knee if you need to. And if you can, just flex your feet so your toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Again, you might have to bend your knees. If you tighten your hamstrings, your hips or your back, you might need to bend your knees a little bit. If you can, your legs are straight, shoulders back and down. Feel that support through your centre. Breathing, let's reach your arms over your shoulders. As you breathe out, just fold yourself over your legs. And just bring your nose towards your knees, your hands towards your toes. You might not get anywhere near your chest, your thighs, your nose, so you're just coming forward as far as you feel you can. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just unfold. Your arms come up towards the ceiling, and then just take your arms wide to the side, and let's bend the knees. And just bring the soles of your feet together, so you're sitting in your butterfly pose. If that's not for you, keep your legs long with a little bit of softness in the knees. If you're happy, sit in your butterfly pose. That means the soles of the feet together and your knees are open wide, so a little bit of an open hip opener. Breathe in, lengthen, sit tall. As you breathe out, let's take a side bend. Your left arm's going to come up and over. Try not to let your left sit bone lift away from the floor. Breathing in, slip the arm back up and over, down by your side. And let's take the right arm up and over, keeping the right sit bone on the floor. Bring the arm back, down by your side. Reach your arms forward, so the shoulder height, shoulder width apart. Keep your neck long, keep your spine long, just now. As you breathe in on your next inhale, let's open the arms wide to the side. Just look up at the ceiling, lift your chest if you can, and just take your arms slightly behind. Pull your shoulder blades back and down if you can. So just extending our spines a little bit here. And then as you breathe out, round your spine, tuck your tail, tuck your chin, and make a circle of your arms in front of you, like you're having a great big ball in front of you. Your fingertips come together, your shoulder blades wide across your back. Breathing in, sit really tall, slowly restack your spine, take your arms wide, either stay here or lift your chest up at the ceiling. Just take your arms a little bit further back, as long as that doesn't pinch in your shoulders. And once more, so it looks like we're doing a cat and cow, but we're on our sit bones, we're sitting down. And last time, just rebuild your spine, sit tall at the top, open your arms wide, look forwards, and then bring your hands together over your head, palms to your hands in prayer, and then just gently slide your hands down towards your chest, fingertips to ceiling, thumbs towards your breastbone. Then breathing in, fingertips to ceiling, elbows pull back in line with your ears, open your shoulders, your chest, and then open your arms wide. Reach your arms wide to side and slowly bring your arms all the way down towards the floor by the side of your hips. Big shoulder roll. Lengthen your legs away and shake out your legs. Perfect. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed your class today.